Most men scream when they catch their wife cheating. They throw clothes out the window, they punch holes in the drywall, they cause a scene that the neighbors talk about for years. I didn't do any of that. I didn't raise my voice, I didn't break a single plate. I just looked at the calendar, and then I looked at the lease agreement for our luxury rental home. My wife Sierra thought she was the smartest person in the room. She thought she could plan a secret girls' trip to Miami to meet her boyfriend. She thought she could spend my money on a hotel room with an ocean view. She thought she could come back on Sunday morning and slip back into her comfortable life like nothing had happened. But she made one critical calculation error. She forgot what day it was. She was so focused on packing her lingerie that she didn't realize the date of her return flight was December 1st. And she completely forgot that our lease expired on November 30th. She assumed I had renewed it. She assumed I would always be there to keep a roof over her head. She was wrong. She left for 4 days. And while she was gone, I didn't evict her. I didn't illegally change the locks. I simply let the clock run out. She came home to a house that didn't belong to us anymore. She came home to absolutely nothing. So, let me tell you how we got here so you can understand the logistics of this revenge. My name is Cameron Brooks. I'm a commercial airline pilot for Southwest Airlines, flying domestic routes out of Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. My entire career is built on precision planning. I calculate fuel loads. I check weather patterns. I look for contingencies that passengers never think about because they trust me to handle the details. My wife Sierra is the opposite. Sierra is what I call a skimmer. She reads the departure time, but ignores the gate changes. She looks at the destination, but ignores the connecting flights. She loves the lifestyle that my $95,000 salary provides, but she has zero interest in how the bills actually get paid. We have been married for 4 years. For the last 2 years, we have lived in a gated community called Desert Oaks, about 15 minutes from the airport. It's the kind of house that screams aviation money. 3 bedrooms, 2-car garage, a pool with a desert landscape view. We rented it for $2,800 a month. It was a reasonable amount for Phoenix, but Sierra insisted on the upgrade. She said she needed the aesthetic for her social media. She said she needed the space for her hosting duties. I went along with it because I wanted to make her happy. I wanted to be the provider. I paid the rent. I paid the utilities. I paid for her white Jeep Cherokee. I paid for everything. And for a while, I thought it was worth it. But about 6 months ago, the dynamic in the house shifted. You know the feeling. It starts small. Sierra stopped asking me about my flights. She stopped eating dinner with me when I came home from overnight trips. She started spending a lot more time on her phone and not just scrolling through Instagram. She was texting. Constant rapid-fire texting. She would smile at her screen in a way she hadn't smiled at me in years. When I walked into the room, she would click the power button to make the screen go black. When she took a shower, the phone went into the bathroom with her. She changed her passcode. She turned off the preview notifications on her lock screen. I am not a jealous man by nature. In aviation, you learn to trust your crew, but you also verify everything. I respect privacy, but I am also not an idiot. Remember, I work in risk assessment, and the risk indicators were flashing red like a storm warning on my weather radar. Then came the new hobbies. Sierra suddenly developed a passion for yoga. She started going to a studio 45 minutes away in Scottsdale. She was going 4, sometimes 5 times a week. She would leave at 7 p.m. and not come home until 10:30 p.m. She claimed she was getting dinner with the yoga girls afterward, but when she came home, she didn't smell like sweat. She didn't look like someone who had just done a grueling workout. She looked fresh. She smelled like expensive vanilla body wash. And she was always in a surprisingly good mood. I had my suspicions, but I needed proof. In aviation, you don't declare an emergency unless you have confirmed the problem. So I waited. I watched. And eventually, technology did the work for me. It happened on a Tuesday morning, November 15th to be exact. I was scheduled for an early flight to Denver, so I was in the kitchen at 4:30 a.m., checking the weather on our shared iPad. We kept it near the coffee maker for quick access to flight tracking apps and weather updates. Sierra was still asleep upstairs. I pulled out the iPad to check the Denver forecast, but the battery was dead. I plugged it in and waited for it to boot up. As soon as the Apple logo appeared, it connected to our Wi-Fi and immediately started syncing. Here's the thing about Sierra. She had no idea how technology actually worked. She just clicked agree on every pop-up and update notification. A few weeks earlier, she had complained that her iPhone storage was full. I had offered to fix it for her. While I was in her settings, I noticed iCloud Sync was turned off for messages. I turned it on. I told her it would help with storage and back up her important conversations. She didn't ask any follow-up questions. She just handed me the phone and said, "Thanks, babe." She had no idea that turning on iCloud Sync meant her messages would now appear on every Apple device linked to her account, including the old iPad I was holding, the iPad she had completely forgotten existed. I hadn't planned to spy on her. I just knew it was there. I knew that if my suspicions were right, the evidence would eventually appear. And on that Tuesday morning, it did. I was stirring my coffee when I heard the ping, then another ping, another, then a steady stream of notifications. I walked over to the counter. The screen was lighting up with iMessage notifications. They were not from the yoga girls. They were from a contact saved as Wesley Ground Crew. I felt my stomach drop. Wesley. I knew exactly who that was. Wesley Martinez worked airport ground operations at Sky Harbor. I'd seen him around the terminals. He was one of those guys who always had something smart to say about pilot schedules, always complaining about overtime while collecting time and a half pay. I knew right then and there that my marriage was over, but I needed to see the extent of the damage. I swiped open the iPad. I didn't have to guess the passcode because it was still set to the code we established when we moved into Desert Oaks 2 years ago, 11/25, our anniversary month and day. I opened the message thread. It went back 6 months. It was vile. It was a detailed day-by-day log of their affair. I saw photos that I can never unsee. I saw them making fun of me. Wesley. How much longer do we have to hide this? I want you all to myself. Sierra. Be patient, baby. Cameron is useful right now. He pays for everything. Wesley. I hate that you go home to him every night. Sierra. Don't worry. He's clueless. He's just a wallet with wings. As soon as I figure out my exit strategy, I'm filing for divorce. A wallet with wings. That is what I was to her. I wasn't a husband. I wasn't a partner. I was a utility. I was just an ATM machine that flew planes and came home to pay the bills. I stood there in my kitchen at 4:45 in the morning, staring at the screen, reading those words over and over again. I was so furious. If I had access to something dangerous, she would have been a memory. I wanted to storm upstairs. I wanted to throw the iPad at the bedroom wall. I wanted to scream until my throat bled. But then I saw the most recent messages. They were sent just hours ago. Sierra. I need a break from him. He is suffocating me. I want to go away with you. Just us. Somewhere warm. Wesley. I can't afford a trip right now, babe. Ground crew doesn't make pilot money. Sierra. Don't worry about the money. I'll handle it. I'll tell Cameron it's a girls' trip with Paige and Ashley for Thanksgiving week. He's such a pushover. He'll probably pay for the whole thing. I froze. But then I started thinking like a pilot, a girls' trip. She was planning to use my money to fly her boyfriend to a vacation while I stayed home and worked to cover the expenses. It was the ultimate insult. But as I stood there seething, my eyes drifted to the kitchen counter. There was a stack of mail sitting there that Sierra hadn't touched in weeks. Right on top was a large envelope from our property management company. It was marked lease renewal offer. I picked it up. I opened it. The letter was standard. Dear Cameron and Sierra Brooks, we hope you have enjoyed your tenancy at Desert Oaks. Your lease is set to expire on November 30th. Please sign below to renew for another 12 months at $3,100 per month. I looked at the date stamp on the letter. It had arrived November 10th. I looked at my phone. Today was November 15th. The lease expired in exactly 15 days. And then the idea hit me. It was so cold, so perfect, so precisely calculated. My mood changed almost immediately. Sierra wanted a vacation. I would give her a vacation. Sierra wanted me to pay for everything. I would pay for exactly what she deserved. I looked at the iPad one last time. I took screenshots of the key conversation threads and saved them to my personal cloud account. Then I deleted the message thread from the device so she wouldn't know I had seen it. I put the iPad back on the charger. I put the lease renewal papers in my flight bag, and I waited for her to wake up. When Sierra came downstairs at 7:30 a.m., wrapped in her robe, she looked annoyed to see me still there. Aren't you supposed to be flying to Denver? She asked. Flight's delayed, I lied smoothly. Weather system moving through Colorado. Probably won't depart until this afternoon. She just shrugged and poured herself coffee. I watched her face, searching for any sign of guilt or nervousness. Nothing. She was completely comfortable living this double life. "You know, I've been thinking," I said, forcing the most genuine smile of my life. She rolled her eyes. "About what?" "You've seemed really stressed lately, tense. You've been working so hard on your projects." This was laughable because Sierra didn't work, but I played along with whatever fantasy she was living in. She perked up slightly. "I have. It's exhausting." I had to bite my tongue to keep from laughing. Exhausting. Right. Managing an affair while spending my money was apparently exhausting work. "I think you need a break. Why don't you take Paige and Ashley and go on a trip? Maybe Miami for Thanksgiving week? My treat." I watched her face carefully. I saw the shock first, then the suspicion, and then the pure, unadulterated greed spreading across her features. "Really?" she asked, trying to sound casual but failing miserably. "You would do that?" "Absolutely," I said. "Go for the long weekend. Leave Wednesday, come back Sunday. I'll hold down the fort here." She literally squealed. She ran over and hugged me. She kissed me on the cheek. "You are the best husband ever," she said. I hugged her back. I felt her cold, damp skin against my uniform shirt. "I know," I whispered. "I really am." She ran upstairs to call Paige. I knew she wasn't calling Paige. She was calling Wesley. She was telling him that the idiot pilot husband had fallen for it. She was telling him to pack his bags for a 5-star vacation on my dime. For the next 12 days, I played the role of the doting husband perfectly. I gave her my credit card and told her to book whatever she wanted. I didn't ask questions about the flights. I didn't ask to see the confirmation emails. I already knew who was really going. She booked a suite at a 5-star resort in South Beach. She probably booked 2 seats on the plane and told me it was 3. I didn't care. The flights were not the trap. The calendar was the trap. I watched her pack her bags. I saw her pack all the sexy clothes that she hasn't worn for me in ages. I saw her pack the new dresses she had bought with my pilot salary. And every time she looked at me, she smiled that fake, condescending smile. She thought she was winning. She thought she was playing me like a rookie first officer. She had no idea that the countdown timer was ticking on her entire life. During those 12 days, I planned my operation with the precision of a cross-country flight plan. I researched everything. I called moving companies. I found a new apartment. I located a storage facility. I consulted with a divorce lawyer. I prepared backup contingencies for every possible scenario. This wasn't going to be an emotional meltdown. This was going to be a surgical strike. I found a sleek, modern 1-bedroom apartment downtown, close to the airport. The rent was $1,900 a month, which was perfect for a single pilot's lifestyle. It was solely in my name. Sierra didn't know it existed. I paid the first month's rent and deposit in cash. I scheduled the move-in for November 28th, the day after she left for Miami. I researched Arizona tenant law extensively. I knew exactly what I could and couldn't do. I couldn't destroy her property. I couldn't throw her stuff in the dumpster. I couldn't change the locks. But I could choose not to renew our lease. I could move out before the lease expired. And I could store her belongings safely until she could retrieve them. I found a climate-controlled storage unit about 20 minutes from Desert Oaks, near the airport. I paid for 3 months up front in cash. Unit 247. I set the combination lock to her birthday, 614. Even she wouldn't forget that. On November 22nd, 5 days before her departure, she asked me about the house. "Hey," she said, pausing while folding another bikini into her suitcase. "Did we ever sign that lease renewal? Mr. Thompson left me a voicemail yesterday. Something about paperwork." My heart rate didn't even spike. In the cockpit, you learn to control your stress response. Emergency situations require calm thinking, not panic reactions. "Don't worry about it. I already talked to him. It's all handled." "You're sure?" she asked, looking up from her packing. "I can call him back if—" "Sierra," I said, keeping my voice warm and reassuring. "You're about to go on vacation with your girls. Relax. I've got it covered. That's what I do. Remember? I handle the boring stuff, so you don't have to worry about anything." She smiled at that. She loved being told she didn't have to worry about things. "Okay, good," she said. "I love this house. I don't want to lose it." "I know you do," I said, watching her. "Fold the lingerie I had bought her for our anniversary." She went back to packing. She didn't give Mr. Thompson another thought. That was the thing about Sierra. She was so used to me handling everything that she never questioned it. She had trained herself to be helpless, and now that helplessness was going to cost her everything. I had already handled the paperwork. I had handled it by emailing Mr. Thompson on November 16th, the day after I discovered the affair. My email was short and professional. Mr. Thompson, regarding the lease renewal for 1847 Desert Vista Drive, we will not be renewing. We will be vacating the property fully by Sunday, November 30th at 5 p.m. I will return the keys to your office by that time. Mr. Thompson replied within 2 hours. Cameron, I need confirmation from both tenants for non-renewal decisions. Can Sierra send a separate email or sign the attached form? I had anticipated this. Flight planning teaches you to think 3 moves ahead of every potential problem. Mr. Thompson, my wife and I are separating. She is aware we are vacating and has already begun removing her personal belongings. She has asked me to handle all paperwork on her behalf during this difficult time. I have attached a signed authorization form. It wasn't entirely a lie. She had told me to handle the paperwork. She just didn't specify which paperwork. I had forged her signature on the authorization form. It was a calculated risk, but I'm a pilot. I know which risks are worth taking and which ones will get you killed. Mr. Thompson replied within an hour. Understood. Sorry to hear about the situation. Please ensure the property is professionally cleaned to recover your security deposit. The cleaning inspection will be conducted on December 1st. Perfect. She would return on December 1st to find not only an empty house, but also a cleaning crew documenting that we had officially vacated. It was done. The flight plan was filed. The exit strategy was locked in. Tuesday, November 27th arrived, moving day -1. I called in sick to work, claiming a stomach bug. My supervisor didn't question it. I had perfect attendance and plenty of sick time banked. I spent the day making final preparations, confirming appointments, and running through my checklist one more time. Wednesday morning, November 27th. Departure day. I drove Sierra to Sky Harbor at 9 a.m. She was practically glowing with excitement. She was texting Wesley the entire drive, not even trying to hide it anymore. I could see the reflection of his name in her sunglasses as she typed message after message. I'm so excited, she said, not looking up from her phone. Paige and Ashley are going to love the hotel you picked. I almost laughed out loud. Paige and Ashley had no idea this trip existed. They were probably at home in Phoenix, going about their normal Wednesday routines. When we pulled up to the departure terminal, I got out and unloaded her. 2 oversized suitcases. She had packed enough clothes for a month, not 4 days. I hope you have the most incredible time, I said, forcing sincerity into my voice. Don't worry about a single thing back home. Thanks, babe, she chirped, giving me a quick peck on the lips. It was the last time she would ever kiss me. I'll text you when we land. She grabbed her bags and strutted toward the automatic doors, her heels clicking on the concrete. I watched her disappear into the crowd of travelers. I got back in my truck, gripped the steering wheel, and let out a breath I felt like I had been holding for 2 weeks. Game time, I said to the empty cab. I drove home, but I wasn't going home to relax. I was going home to execute the most precise operation of my life. As soon as I pulled into the driveway, the moving truck pulled in behind me. Perfect timing. I had booked them for 10 a.m., and they were exactly on schedule. 3 guys hopped out. The foreman, a thick set man with graying hair, approached me. We're here for the move, he said, consulting his clipboard. What's going on the truck? Everything, I said. If it belongs to me, it goes on the truck. If it belongs to my wife, it goes in the garage for temporary storage. I handed him a detailed inventory list I had prepared. I've marked everything clearly. My items have blue tape. Her items get stacked in the garage. I had spent the previous evening putting blue painter's tape on every single item that belonged to me. The leather sectional sofa, blue tape. The 65-inch smart TV, blue tape. The dining room table, blue tape. The expensive espresso machine that Sierra loved but never learned how to properly maintain, blue tape. For the next 8 hours, I directed the moving operation with the precision of an air traffic controller. We stripped the house methodically, room by room, item by item. The movers were professional and efficient. They didn't ask questions about the separation. They just did the job. By 6 p.m. on Wednesday, the house was transformed. All of my belongings were gone. loaded onto the truck, heading to my new downtown apartment. Sierra's possessions filled the two-car garage, boxes of clothes, jewelry, shoes, cosmetics, and all the decorative items she had insisted on buying over the years. The house itself echoed. It was a shell of carpet and walls. But I wasn't done yet. Thursday was packing day. I had rented a U-Haul truck separately for Sierra's belongings. I spent Thursday methodically packing her lachon into cardboard boxes. I didn't pack it nicely, but I packed it carefully. Every item inventoried, every box labeled. I wasn't going to give her any legal ammunition to claim I had destroyed or stolen her property. I loaded box after box into the U-Haul, her designer handbags, her jewelry collection, her extensive shoe collection, her yoga mats and essential oils, all the props for her carefully curated social media, lifestyle. Everything went into the truck. Friday, I drove to the storage facility, Unit 247. I unloaded everything systematically. I arranged it so she could access her most essential items near the front. I left a handwritten inventory list on top of the first stack of boxes. I set the combination lock to 06 for her birthday. I drove the empty U-Haul back to the rental location. Friday evening, I slept on an air mattress in the middle of the empty living room floor. It was the best sleep I had gotten in months. No more lies, no more fake conversations, no more pretending I didn't know what she was doing. Just silence and the satisfaction of a plan in motion. Saturday morning was cleanup day. I hired a professional cleaning crew to come in at 8:00 a.m. They scrubbed every surface. They steam cleaned the carpets. They cleaned the windows inside and out. They spackled the small holes in the walls where pictures used to hang. By 2 p.m. on Saturday, the house looked exactly like it did the day we moved in 2 years ago. It smelled like lemon cleaner and fresh paint. There was no trace of me. There was no trace of Sierra. There was no trace of our failed marriage. Saturday evening, I moved into my new apartment downtown. 1 bedroom, modern kitchen, floor-to-ceiling windows with a view of the airport. I could see the runway lights from my living room. I ordered pizza and sat on my new couch, watching planes take off and land. For the first time in months, I felt peace. Sunday, November 30th. Lease expiration day. At 1 p.m., I drove to the property management office. It was closed on Sundays, but they had a secure drop box for after-hours key returns. I put both house keys in an envelope. I put both garage door openers in the envelope. I wrote Unit 1847 Desert Vista Drive, lease expired on the outside. I sealed it and dropped it through the slot. Our tenancy was officially over. We no longer had any legal right to enter that property. Anyone who entered that house now would be trespassing. I got in my truck and drove to my new apartment. I ordered Chinese takeout and turned off my phone. I wanted complete radio silence until Monday, until she landed, until she tried to come home to a house that was no longer hers. Monday morning, December 1st. I turned my phone back on at 9 a.m. There were several texts from Sierra sent late Sunday night. Having the most amazing time. Miami is incredible. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Every message was a lie designed to keep the ATM happy while she lived it up with Wesley on my money. At 11:45 a.m., her flight landed at Sky Harbor. I knew because I was still getting notifications from the airline app linked to my email account. At 12:30 p.m., she texted me. Just landed, getting an Uber home. Are you at work? I didn't reply. I sat in my new apartment, staring at the phone, visualizing every step of her journey. The Uber ride through familiar Phoenix streets, the pull into the Desert Oaks community, the walk up to the front door with her designer luggage. At 1:15 p.m., my phone rang. Sierra, I let it go to voicemail. 2 minutes later, it rang again. Then a text. Babe, the key isn't working. It's stuck or something. Did you change the locks? I waited exactly 3 minutes. Then I called her back. Hello? She answered on the first ring. Her voice was tight with confusion and growing panic. Cameron, where are you? The key won't turn in the lock. I know, I said calmly, sitting in my new living room with a perfect view of the runway. The key doesn't work because those aren't our locks anymore. What? What are you talking about? Her voice pitched higher. Why would the locks be different? The locks were changed yesterday by the property management company. I kept my tone professional, like I was giving a weather update to passengers. Standard procedure when a lease expires. When a lease expires, she screamed. Cameron, I live here. We live here. No, Sierra, you don't. There was dead silence on the line. I could hear traffic in the background. I could picture her standing on the front porch, designer luggage at her feet, looking completely lost. You don't live there anymore, I repeated. The lease expired yesterday, November 30th. But you renewed it, her voice cracked. You said you handled the paperwork. I did handle the paperwork, I said. I handled the non-renewal paperwork. I moved out last Wednesday. I turned in the keys yesterday afternoon. You moved out? The words came out as a whisper. I moved out, and I took everything that belongs to me. I stood up and walked to my window, watching a Southwest flight taxi toward the terminal. Maybe one of my colleagues was at the controls. But where is my stuff? She shrieked. Where are my clothes, my jewelry, everything I own? Your belongings are safe, I said. Everything is in a climate-controlled storage unit on Industrial Way. Unit 247. The combination is your birthday, 0614. Even you should be able to remember that. A storage unit? Her voice was shrill now. Cameron, stop playing games. Open the door. I need to get inside. I can't open the door, Sierra. I don't have keys to that house anymore, and neither do you. If you stay on that property much longer, Mr. Thompson is going to call the sheriff's department for trespassing. Where am I supposed to go? She was crying now. Full panic had set in. I have nowhere to go. This is my home. I don't know where you'll go, I said. Maybe you should call Wesley. I'm sure he'd be happy to help you figure it out. The line went completely silent. She stopped crying instantly. The only sound was the distant hum of traffic. How do you know about Wesley? She asked, her voice barely audible. I saw the messages, Sierra. I saw everything on the iPad. 6 months of messages. I saw the photos. I saw you calling me a wallet with wings. I saw you planning this entire fake vacation while laughing about how clueless I was. My voice remained steady, professional. I hope the 4 days in Miami were worth it. Cameron, wait. Her tone changed completely, desperate now. Cameron, please. It didn't mean anything. I can explain everything. I made a mistake, a terrible mistake. Please, we can work this out. There's nothing to work out, I said. The lease is over. The marriage is over. You wanted to be single and free. Congratulations. You got exactly what you wanted. Cameron, please, she screamed. I have nowhere to go. I don't have any money. You can't just... I hung up. I blocked her number immediately. I blocked her on every social media platform. Then I called Verizon and had her removed from my phone plan. The representative said the disconnection would process within 24 hours. By the time she tried to call Wesley for help, her phone would be an expensive piece of plastic. I learned what happened next from my colleague Preston Williams, who works flight operations at Sky Harbor. I had mentioned the situation to Preston a few days earlier, and he promised to keep an eye out. He sent me updates throughout the afternoon. According to Preston, Sierra sat on the front porch for over 2 hours, crying and making phone calls on neighbors' Wi-Fi. Eventually, Mr. Thompson arrived with a sheriff's deputy. They weren't sympathetic. She was told to leave the property immediately or face arrest for trespassing. She had to call an Uber to take her to the storage unit with all her luggage. Picture that scene. Coming home from a luxury vacation in Miami, wearing designer clothes and dragging expensive luggage, only to end up at a concrete storage facility in an industrial part of Phoenix, digging through cardboard boxes just to find clean clothes. She tried to fight me in the divorce, naturally. She claimed financial abandonment. She demanded half my pilot retirement fund. She wanted alimony. She wanted the furniture back. But my attorney specialized in aviation industry divorces and knew exactly how to handle vindictive spouses. We presented the affair evidence with time-stamped screenshots. We showed that I had carefully preserved all her personal property in climate-controlled storage. We demonstrated that major purchases were made with my premarital savings or during the marriage with my sole income. Arizona is a community property state, but adultery affects alimony calculations. In the end, she received a small equitable distribution payment of approximately $8,000 and nothing else. No ongoing alimony. No claim to my retirement accounts. No furniture, since most major pieces were purchased with my funds and I had the receipts to prove it. $8,000 for 4 years of marriage and 6 months of betrayal. It was the best investment I ever made. I kept occasional tabs on her through airport connections. Wesley dumped her within 3 weeks, apparently deciding that a woman with baggage but no bank account wasn't worth the trouble. Last I heard from Preston, she was living with her mother in Tempe and working as a receptionist at the same fitness center, where she used to pretend to take yoga classes. Life has a sense of justice sometimes. My friends ask if I have any regrets. They wonder if I was too harsh, too calculating. They suggest I should have tried counseling or confronted her directly. But I tell them what I learned in aviation. When someone treats you like a wallet with wings instead of a human being, you don't negotiate with them. You close the account, cancel their access, and chart a new course. She wanted a permanent vacation from our marriage. I gave her exactly that. Always read the fine print, gentlemen, and always check your flight plan before takeoff.